Hey Calvin. Okay, so this video is going to go over what a matrix is, and then there will be a second video on how to use matrices to solve systems. So go ahead and grab this note sheet out, and then you're going to copy down, as I'm taking the notes, you're going to copy them down as well. All right, so a matrix. A matrix is just another way to organize information or data, kind of like a table or a chart or a graph or something like that. So we just have another way of showing data, and that's through a matrix. All right, so a matrix, I'm going to show you the example first. A matrix is going to look like this. You're going to have like brackets, and you have to make sure that you actually have the brackets, not just a straight line, because a straight line would be something different. So you can have numbers in here. Your matrix can be any size. It can be really large, it can be small, right? So this is a matrix. So a matrix is just where I put numbers in into these like brackets, okay? So we consider a matrix is a rectangular array. So a rectangular array of elements, and elements are numbers, arranged in rows and columns. Okay, so we arrange them in rows and columns. So let's remember, a row is going left and right. So this way is a row, and then a column is when you're going up and down. Okay, and that's really important to remember. Okay, because that's important to remember because the way we name matrices is based off of how many rows and then how many columns. So rows always goes first. So it's rows, and then we use an X to show like by, like when you do measurements like a 2 by 4 or 2 feet by 3 feet, you do the X. So the same thing here. So rows and then columns. So this example here, if we looked at this, we have 2 rows. So this is a 2 by 1, 2, 3 columns. So this is a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, and that's important because we are going to be using our calculators for this. So if you haven't, you may want to pause the video and go ahead and grab your calculator. You're going to need it for this. All right, now we're just going to go through a couple different things. So equal matrices. In order to be equal matrices, you have to have the exact same dimensions. So same number of rows, same number of columns. So same dimensions. And your corresponding elements are equal. So again, let me show you a couple examples. For example, if I had 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The equal matrix would mean that this is 2 rows by 2 columns. This is a 2 by 2. So my equal one would have to also be a 2 by 2. And then what I mean by corresponding elements, this is first row, first column. So right here, first row, first column would have to be a 1. This one is first row, second column. So I'd have to make sure that that they're in the exact same locations. Okay? So for example, if I had, so if we have this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. If I go like this, right? They have the same numbers, right? The same numbers are in each. However, this is a 2 by 2 matrix, and this is a 1 by 4 matrix. So they're different size matrices, therefore these would not be equal matrices. Okay, so to be equal matrices, they have to literally be the exact same. All right. A lot of times with matrices, you can see, well, this is an example. We're going to skip over this. We're going to get closer into like how you deal with variables inside of a matrix when we get closer to the ACT, so we don't have to worry about that right now. So if we look over here, we're going to look at adding and subtracting matrices. It's very, very simple. All right, so you can see where it says right here, you can subtract 2 matrices if they have the same dimensions. So as long as they're the same dimensions, you can add them or subtract them, same for both. You're just going to add or subtract the numbers that are in the corresponding locations. All right, so I think the easiest way is just to give you an example. So if we have matrix A, and we're going to have matrix A is going to be -5, 2, 7, and 0. Okay, and we're going to call matrix B 11, 4, -2, -6. Okay, so if I ask for you to subtract these two, all right, now order matters, right? With subtraction, the order in which you write it matters. So we're going to do A minus B. So we're going to do A minus B. Now, the step that I'm showing you is just to show you what's happening. When adding and subtracting, you do not have to show the step. Again, you don't have to show the step when you're actually working out problems. I'm just showing you what we're doing. All right, so what we're going to do is we take first row, first column, -5, and we're subtracting, and I'm going to subtract 11. So notice first row, first column, first row, first column. Guess where the answer of that goes? First row, first column. Okay? So when I say that you're subtracting corresponding elements, it means the numbers are in the same location. That's what you're subtracting. So here would be 2 minus 4. And then here we're going to have 7 minus -2. And here we have 0 minus -6. All right, so again, this step right here that I'm starring, you don't have to show that all the time, okay? I'm just trying to show you what you're doing in your head. All right, so then we have A minus B equals, so then we actually do the subtraction. So this is going to give us -16, -2, 9, and 6. So if I take A minus B, this is the answer matrix right here. And notice it looks the exact same. This is a 2 by 2, this is 2 by 2, your answer is a 2 by 2. Okay? All right, so now let's still take A and B, and now we're going to add. All right, so we're going to take A plus B. All right, so if I do that, again, the step I'm showing you is not necessary when you're doing your own problems. So we're taking -5, and we're going to add that to 11. 2 plus 4, 7 plus -2, and 0 plus -6. So again, with adding and subtracting, all you're doing is adding and subtracting the numbers in the same location. Okay? So then this would equal, so you just do your addition here. Okay. So then you would have 6, 6, 5, and -6. Right? So if these were my two originals right here and I was asked to add them, again, this step that I'm starring, you don't have to show every single time, okay? I'm just showing you what you should be doing like on your calculator or in your head. And this is your answer matrix, okay? The biggest thing is that your matrices must be the same size in order to add them. So for example, if I have like this, like that, this is not possible, right? This is what we call undefined. Okay, so these are not the same size, right? This is 3 rows, 1 column, so this is a 3 by 1, and this is a 1 by 2. These are not the same size matrices, therefore we can't add them together or subtract them or anything like that, okay? All right, so if you flip it over, what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and I want you to try these problems right here. Just try 2 or 3 or all of them. Try these, and then once you have answers, unpause it and see how you did. So I'm going to let you go ahead and pause. All right, so hopefully you've already done these. Okay, I'm just going to pull in my answer key here. So for number 1, for this first one, it should have been this. Here, -21, 24, -10. And here, -9, 14, 46, 13, -15, and -2. All right, so there's those. I'm going to show you how to do this one on the calculator, so hold off on this one. All right, now, if you haven't done so already, pause the video and try subtracting. And once you've done that, just do the first 3, and then I'll show you how to do the last one on the calculator. Go ahead and pause and try the bottom, try subtracting, and then when you're done, unpause. All right, answers for the bottom look like this. So check with yours, make sure you're doing it correctly. Again, we're just doing like 27 minus -9. And if you're struggling with your subtracting of positive and negative numbers and stuff, it's okay. Use your calculator. You're perfectly fine. It's no big deal. All right, here is the answer for that last one. But again, I'm going to show you how to do it on the calculator as well. All right. Okay, so grab your graphing calculator. All right, we're going to do this top one right here. So this addition one. All right, so to put this in, so your keys here, if you notice your keys on your calculator, most of these are all white, right? Your numbers are black, but the letters on these keys are white. And then you'll notice that you see some blue writing and you also see some green letters on the background. In order to get to the blue, you have to hit second first because that's a blue key. If you're trying to get a letter like A, B, C, or something like that, you would hit alpha first. So if you look straight down this first column, right, you see second, alpha, math, and then x to the -1. Right above that x to the -1, you should see the word matrix. Okay, and that's the key that we need. So you notice that it's in blue, so in order to get to that key, we hit second matrix. All right, so then you get to this screen here. You may have stuff in there, you may not, it's not a big deal. So if I wanna put this in to my matrix, so I'm here, I have to scroll to the right over to edit. So anytime you wanna put something in, you have to scroll over to edit. And then I press enter because I'm gonna edit my first one. Now, if I look at my paper here, I have 1, 2, 3 rows and 1, 2, 3 columns. So I have a 3, and then if you press enter, it takes you to the next thing. And then if I press enter, it puts me into the matrix. So I'm gonna fill out this one right here. I'm gonna put this into my matrix. So 17, and again, if you press enter, it takes you over. You don't have to use the arrow keys. 19, -1, 31. Again, feel free to pause if you need to. All right, so I put that first matrix in. Now, here's the only bad part. We don't have like a back key. Like I wanna go back to the matrix. So you hit second, quit. So quit is right next to the second button, right there. Now I'm gonna hit second matrix again. We're gonna go over to edit because we now need to put in the second one, but now scroll down to B because I don't wanna mess up the one I just put in. So I'm gonna scroll down to B and I press enter. This is a 3 by 3, so go ahead and put your numbers in. Again, feel free to pause the video at any time if you need a little extra time to get stuff in. Okay, so now I have my 2 matrices in. Again, I hit second, quit, so I'm back at my home screen for my calculator. So now what I'm gonna do is I need to add these together. So I'm gonna pull in my matrix, so second matrix. I'm gonna take A, because that was my first one, so press enter, plus second matrix. I scroll down to B, hit enter, and then hit enter one more time, and it does all of that addition for me. So there's the answer, okay? Now, most students found that they can probably add these numbers faster than trying to put it into the calculator because it is kind of cumbersome to get these numbers in. So I just wanted you to see at least where matrix was on your calculator and stuff like that because we're going to use that a little bit later. But it's there if you want to use it. You can. If you'd rather just add or subtract them in your head, that's fine too. Okay, so again, just to recap, and again, you can pause this video, you can rewind, you can go back, so you know the keystrokes for the calculator, okay? So we hit second matrix, that got us in. If we wanted to change the matrix that's in there, we scroll over to edit, pick which one we want to edit. Once you've done the editing, then I want to pull in those. I just stay under names. I don't scroll over at all. I just press enter, plus, and then I pull my second one in, enter, and then enter, okay? All right. The next part that we're going to look at is scalar multiplication, okay? It's all right about these. This was just practice. You don't have to worry about those. So scalar multiplication, basically this is distributive property for matrices, right? So if you think about distributive property, we have a number on the outside, right? So like if I have this, and what we do is we distribute this to both things on the inside, and this would be 2x plus 6. So the same sort of thing is happening with a matrix. We're putting a number outside the matrix, and then we're going to take that and multiply it by everything inside the matrix. All right, so each element of the matrix is multiplied by the same number or constant, and new matrix is created. Okay, so if I have like 2 on the outside and then I have just a real basic matrix, this is scalar multiplication. Scalar just means we have a number outside the matrix that we're multiplying by everything inside the matrix. So this is like distributive property. It's like going back to this, right, where you're distributing the 2 to everything on the inside of the parentheses. Here, we're distributing the 2 to everything inside the matrix. So then this would equal 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8. All right, and that's all that scalar multiplication is. Okay, here's another example. If we have, we're gonna put, let's put a 5 out here. 3, -2, 6, 0, 8, 1. So if you're asked to find this, again, what you're thinking in your head is that you are just going to distribute that to everything on the inside. Okay, so if I just multiply everything by 5, this now gives me 15, because 5 times 3. 5 times -2 is -10. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 8 is 40, and 5 times 1 is 5. And that's it. That's all scalar multiplication is. All right? Okay, so flip over to the back. All right, so on the back here, I just want you to try the first 2. Okay, so just these 2. So pause the video and complete these 2 problems. All right, hopefully you did, and hopefully you got answers. Here are the correct answers for that. Okay, so again, we're just taking the -5 and multiplying it by everything inside the parentheses. Here, we took 3 and multiplied it by everything. All right, okay, so now what I would like for you to do is feel free to rewatch this video if you need it as you're doing some work. So in your folder, you should have a paper that looks like this. It says, at the top, it says Matrix Practice. Okay, so what I would like for you to do now is you need to complete numbers 1 through 12. So on the front is 1 through 10, and then 11 and 12 are here on the back. So just complete numbers 1 through 12, all right? And then you'll complete the rest, 13 through 20, after you watch the next video. All right, so 1 through 12 now, try that. Once you're done, then go ahead and click on the next video, and then we'll do the rest. All right, thanks, Calvin.